of the spectrum on this one because all day yesterday I kept thinking it was Thursday and that today was Friday.
No.
You've got the optimism of knowing that it actually is Thursday and we're close to Friday. So, I mean, I'm excited. Don't get me wrong. I'm excited, but
you thought it was over, right? I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just woke up like, oh, because I woke up this morning thinking, boy, these last 3 days were such a haze. I don't know what happened. No idea. We had someone come over. They had to fix our garage door. It wasn't going up and down correctly, and the thing that meets the ground apparently shrunk. So there was like a gaping hole that would let animals in. Like we were finding snakes.
Yeah, that would be a problem.
It was Wild Kingdom in our garage in Allentown. It was wild.
On the bright side, you can start charging tickets, you know?
Any chance.
You can do Animal Kingdom / yard sale, you know?
That's a good
idea.
idea.
A bunch of stuff in the garage you've been trying to get rid of.
Yeah. That's true. You know, speaking of tickets, I wanted to mention this. The Batman. I think it actually comes out tonight, but was there special screening at midnight?
No, yesterday. I said that yesterday because I thought yesterday was Thursday. So midnight. Yeah.
It confused me.
So midnight tonight, they'll be screening.
All right. That's why I was like, wait a minute. Oh, I thought Crockett had access to special screening. So the Batman, not Batman, the Batman comes out tonight. And the tickets might cost more at AMC. They're doing what they're calling an experiment. An experiment, please. You're preparing to charge customers more to get out of their house finally. This is what the CEO says, because it's a premium show. It's just being released. So like, for instance, in LA, the Batman costs $1.50 more than the movies that have been out for a while. It's considered premium because it just came out. They've been doing this in Europe for years. So this is just something new that they're trying, I put in air quotes, in the States. They say it's no different than charging extra for live concerts. You know, if you get a good seat, that might be next. They'll charge more for premium seating. It's like going on an airplane now, right? Aren't they charging for better seats now? Well, yeah, obviously first class versus being in the back like the rest of us common folk.
The best is when you go to like get tickets to, you know, try to get tickets to a Sixers game or a Phillies game or whatever it might be. And you're going through and you're like, okay, that's not bad. And then you hit like the final tab and then all the fees come up and you're like, who is buying my kidney? Who am I going to sell it to?
Why is it called a convenience tax too? It's not that convenient. I remember I had to physically pick up a ticket. I'm like, you're going to remove the convenience tax? Because this was not. It's not being mailed.
Right. I would rather just go to a box office and just like,
yes. Pick them up. So true. So be prepared if you are seeing The Batman. I don't know if it hit here locally, but it might be more to go. I still have yet to see Spider-Man. And I'm hoping that I hope it's still in the theater. Is it even still in the theater? Because that might be our first movie we're seeing in 2 years in the theater. I'd like to do that this weekend.
I would think perhaps, yeah.
Isn't it up for an Oscar? I think it is. So I think that might be. I want to see it before the Academy Awards.
I don't know that. I'm not sure.
To be able to say I saw one movie that was nominated. You ever watch those awards shows? You're like, I've never heard of any of these.
Yeah. It's so funny because if you go back to it, I feel like the Grammys are kind of the same way too. Like if you go back to like the 80s and 90s and you look up like Grammy awards or Oscars, you know everything. You probably saw everything, or at least you can remember, like, you know, if it was Silence of the Lambs. I didn't watch that when I was 8 or however old I was, but like I knew the movie. Now it's like stuff comes out and I'm like, how do you even possibly digest all of these things?
Because there's so many platforms to see movies
now. But even 10 years ago, when it still was just movies, they'd be like, and this French movie, Gilles Villeneuve, is up for best. And I'd be like, what? Why? Lucilla, good morning. Selena and Crockett, good morning. Aleda, happy Friday Eve, friends. Have a great day. You too. Becky, good morning. Aleda, nice win from the Sixers last night.
Yeah, nice good
comeback
chemistry.
win. Nice comeback win.
Mm-hmm.
schedule gets really tough now, so it's going to be fun to watch. Becky, convenience fee is a joke. You're absolutely right, 100%. Fortunately, just speaking of the Sixers, I kept promising my nephew had his confirmation this year, and I said, I'll take you to a Sixers game. And of course, him being, I'm like, tell me what games you want to go to, and he he's delaying. And finally, I sent my sister a text. I was like, I'm picking one of these games. So tell me, because if there's a school night or whatever. So wisely, I did that, knowing that the trade deadline was coming up and the James Harden buzz and all that stuff. So I got them right before the trade deadline. I don't even know what those tickets would be worth.
I can't even imagine. It must be really hard to get your hands on a decently priced ticket. They're not sold out, right? You can still get them, but they're
secondary market pretty much. I mean, it was a mob scene in there last night, but so they're playing Milwaukee, who's the NBA champs. So it was like we got good tickets, all that stuff. So
you did? Because I was gonna say, if you couldn't get that, you can come to my son's basketball game. It's his finale. He says it's gonna be a tough match on Saturday at 11 at the high school.
I do have it set on my ESPN reminder so that I can watch it when I get up in the morning. So I don't know I'll be able to get there for it, but
maybe they're streaming it somewhere you can watch. My son, he tucks his penny in, and I don't even want to.
Adorable.
I'm just like,
let me tell you something. That's adorable.
Right? He's ready to go. And I asked him, I'm like, just do what you need to do. And I said, is it comfortable? Do you tuck it in because it's more comfortable? He's like, yeah, I don't need them pulling at my penny. Like, he has a whole strategy behind tuck. You know why? Here's the other reason. He plays soccer. You're actually supposed to tuck your soccer jersey in when you play soccer. So he just assumes it's the same thing. Adorbs.
Well, I'll bet, it's a physical game. So as he's coming off of screens, he's running the pick and roll. He's probably concerned about getting tugged there. And, when you're trying to get to the cup, Selena, you want to get there free.
By the way, their team is undefeated.
Well, I know why, because they're much more aerodynamic than all the other teams out there because they're tucking in their pennies.
So big game happening on Saturday.
So how old? He's 10, right?
Yeah.
So is it now? Are they undefeated because they're a good team, or is there I remember being little and there was always there were teams that were good, but there was always that one team that just had the kid that was an oak tree at 10 years old, and there was just nothing you could do. That kid was going to score.
I mean, thankfully, he has coaches that teach the kids, hey, you got to pass the ball, and he teaches them screens, which, by the way, is the first time I've ever heard of screens. So I'm learning. Like you said, screens, I started giggling. So I'm like, oh, I know what he's talking about, because they'll call out plays while they're playing. Like, this is awesome. And they know. They're also the same soccer team. The majority of them are on the same soccer team.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. So they're, this is their winter time. Yeah. It's fun to watch. And I just sit there. I'm like, look at that tuck jersey. He looks so neat.
There was the same kid when I was little in baseball and basketball. No matter how good our teams were, I'm talking 9, 10, 11, 12. He was a man amongst kids. And it was always we're going to see. It doesn't matter what happens, because if we get all the way there, we're going to see Mike in the championship.
Here's the thing, and then I love this about him. There is a player on my son's team. He's the shortest player, and I think people don't expect him to, because stereotypically you expect the tallest player to be the dunker, and he is so good because he just goes. You're like, where'd he go? And next thing you know, 2 points.
He's Tyrese Maxey. Speed kills, man. You can only do so much. You can't stop it. You can only hope to contain it. Yeah,
it's good stuff. All right, listen, we have your Big Time Rush tickets coming up. They'll be in Hershey July 1st. We'll have those tickets $740 as we take a look at this day in history. Trolls Live. Get that hair up high. Family pack of tickets coming up. They'll be at the PPL Center March 29th. We'll have those tickets around the corner. $640 with the nearly impossible question.
That's my troll's hair.
I love it. Katy Perry will be playing in Vegas, and you have a chance to win that fly out to see her. Listen for that national keyword to text and win. That's coming up first time 9 this morning. And a fuel up with Selena and Crockett. for joining us so early, fueled by Phillipsburg Easton Honda. What time shall we do that?
How about 7:30? 7:30, we'll post a keyword on our Instagram stories. So you got to go follow us there. If you're the first one to text that in, $10 gift card to Wawa. Fuel up however you feel like you need to. You know?
I tried that blueberry cobbler frozen cappuccino for the very first time yesterday. I was like, oh, mama. It was so good. We could get that with a nice
Can I get that in a bucket, please?
I thought about going back and getting more. I'm like, pace yourself, lady. Pace yourself. Hey, coming up, I want to know what would keep you, what would get you to stay at your current job longer? You know, these are the, I think we need to see a couple more perks, especially people that are working from home and being told you need to come back into the office.
Sure.
What would help? We want to hear about that. We'll be talking about it.
We have to jump.
We absolutely do. I gotta go. Otherwise, I'm gonna be fired. Keep a job. Stay longer. Just try to keep it.
All right. Bye, guys.